Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Kati kugamba tunulira wano nti bano bamunda babikola to embarrass government. These are insiders. Yes, babikola. Having just taken the money, percent bazibye kati batute 5 billion ogenda kubala banga bagula amayumba. Even hired mercenaries. We must make ourselves relevant to Museveni. You are spoiling Museveni's record. How the people who write Museveni's legacy, Museveni the revolutionary. When I look at it, I find the time to defend. An informer, no, they are hiding and stop dragging the army into these things. Yes. Kakati nkugamba nti akaluwa akaabwe kennyini invisible hand yakonoona Museveni aveeko akaabwe kennyini aka 2010 internal party elections. Nakuwandika negamba. For example, heaps of NRM ballot papers were sold openly in Kampala from the committee's offices and homes of the members of the committee. Omukazi Simaiba Mutangani was a Mugis woman. What the year Yamures disappeared like a gonorrhea. I don't see where she is. Magoma. Batakawaka Choka Magoma. Cabo will come at Ngogam. The heaps and homes of members of the committee. The price ranged between 5 million and 10, depending on the competitiveness in a particular constituency. Secondly, the ballots were printed by the New Vision, and surprisingly, the management did not come out to explain the source of these heaps and heaps of ballot papers on the market. The printer had an obligation to protect the ballots. Amazingly, the NRM Electoral Commission did not come out to explain the source of these ballot papers. In Uganda, for example, it took weeks for the NRM members to receive the ballot papers, in spite of the fact that a member of the committee, Jerry Kayonde, hails from this area. The only answer to this was to undermine Karule Sengo, who was tussling it out with the incumbent Mrs. Muyinda. This confusion was deliberately done by an invisible hand. In their desperation, those NRM members who had lost sold to the NRM card, solicited support from NRM bigwigs. This was intended in the process. The determining factor as to who would get the party card moved from the election process to individuals at the party headquarters. No tango to work on. Basoka kuno nakabo. Kuba bagalo kukotolinga bastuji zingobe batadde gindi. Look what ichotera zenyi bagamba. Gundi Kayanja yagala okufuga district. Ngabaleta basema kula bandi bamulinda for to him. This is the problem with the people choosing successors. But president wonna. Yes. Wants to be his own man. Kagati bayagala kusula kasolo baleto wabo has never uttered a word in parliament. Ngabagala kutunda takali sango be. Kati what is happening? Gundi kisekulu nebe yalabye ngabagala okubeta kali district. District yagala ku developing. Bakutte muganda wa kisekulu nti ayambala ebyambalo by'amagye akola road block. Tumuweze n'oto nimwana gboto wumula. Obuweerezi bingi. Ate era nejjute likooti mulezi gwi wakitova waffe ku ttaka ly'essango B. Nakumu balekera abewaffe bakalye. Yes. Okay. Ate kati bagamba ngo batwalayo balaalo. That's where I fit Museveni. Kusango be. Enti Museveni yawamba ettaka atwale yabalaalo. The issue was bantu kuvaako basimbeko ebinazi. Egombolola y'ekabira ejjuddeawo. Egombola namba. Eyekabira. Ekabira. Owangulayo Museveni. Ekabira. Nga bwera balwera bwatambula bwati. Atuuka e Tanzania. Egombola y'ekabira yonna these are cattle keepers. Okay. You can see that you were in Mbalala. In Rakai. Ekochi. 60%. bagundi abakochi bakolanga 55% oba 60 40 bachi. So when these people talk, you don't need to transfer balalo to Sango Bay. You need to mwebaza oba Museveni oba nedda abazungu kabatwali tumwebaza kubanga tumwebaza ajonze ewabwe yonna Museveni tamunya ab'emiryango balita ayi sisi kate kutumwebaza awumule kati nkugamba nti abaali bagala pati kadi y'NRM ate baalaga wa mubakoze akavuyo bulungi naye nkugamba nti the loser in all of this is the national chairman Museveni
president.
Yes, it is not because Museveni is not easy as accessed. This worked in favor of those. It normally works in the favor. Ndumano kuba sente dombo na duka ne munne sente ne gingi zasika de kampani dombo na duka ne munne dombo ye problem kusakoite. Here's why the election results were tight. That's not what you were saying?
Yes.
The reason for this is that both the candidates, the official and the independent, were both sponsored by the invisible hand. This explains why Parliament, after, wanted to usurp the powers of the president. In many cases, the official NRM candidate, the so-called independent, and the opposition belong to NRM.
The official NRM candidate, the independent,
yes,
and the opposition.
Babi NRM.
Echabade Kayunga.
Babi NRM in all cases. Ninga factions Babi. Nantaba, how could Nantaba sponsor a campaign? I know sentiment.
Yabadi ne majidi waliye. Senti zabadi zize.
Andi nkubuli zivaawo.
Zara tumutunye.
Kakati nkugamba. Nti bano bonna babeera ba financing wa government. This was intended because whoever won would pay allegiance to the financiers, not to Museveni.
To the financiers.
The rules. That's why they decided to form a NUP, to have an NRMB which is not controlled by Museveni. The Museveni bw'abayita bano abalagira mu caucus. Katika bakolewe yaabo yatalagira mu caucus. Nino yi yaabo.
Mzee Tamale, you're confusing the nation. NUP is NRMB. Nakwede yabade NRMB. It's going to court.
Let me tell you. It also explains the attitude of the current parliament to the president. It was hijacked on the election day by people who wanted to stop President Museveni before 2016. The fact the candidates who were loyal and committed to the president were financially starved, and their rivals, including the opposite candidates, were given massive financial support by them. Kakati nkugamba. Responding to this outcry from the victims of the deliberate elimination exercise discussed above, the president appointed the Kigongo team. He also sacked the Magoma team. However, the Kigongo team could not repair the damage. In a few cases, elections were repeated, but even those who came were part of the original scheme. They were financed by the invisible hand. This is comparable. What Museveni did to appoint the Kigongo committee and the Uganda committee was comparable to a parent who wants a pregnant daughter against the bad boys. The advice comes too late because she has already conceived. It seems those behind the scheme read properly the president's mind and put up remedies in case any intervention was made. The elections had been properly and scientifically rigged. The majority of those who secured the NRM party cards were supported by the invisible hand that I pointed out earlier. Even those in opposition and the independent all belong to the same group. Realizing that the invisible hand had Museveni had a Kigongo committee katika ina vyako. Kakati today, these people bafunamu.
Okay.
Why? Nti bafunamu Bobi Wine yajja kubamulisa. And these people fall into Bobi Wine's trap.
But our government. Yeah.
Bano siba Museveni. Bano banda maininga Museveni na muhozi.
Bakuba kintu kukiyiwa. Technically.
nga Museveni tasobola kuleeta successor awunye era Museveni tuuku tactic move okujja abaamiri yakyambadde n'abayita ekyankwanzi to deny these people, to deny a possibility of forming another split in the party.
But advisors.
Nabo babadde bagenda kubuuza bagambe nti ekyatuwanguza kyali ki kwesiba ku NRM if family yakyambadde had crossed
nadda eri ku NUP
era tebalina candidate nti oleeta family yakyambadde n'omuleetako y'omwana
nedda era singa yagamba nti tiketi
n'oyo omwana was sponsored by people in government. Somebody had the list has kyambadde been defeated oba NRM yennyini
nga yabuuza
lwaki Muwanga Kivumbi yayitamu ebutambala against Kikulukuunyi supported by Kigongo. They wanted to humiliate Kigongo. Bate terina bwalala kale bano abaana bakyo bagenda okufunamu kiri kimu nti bano abali mu gavumenti tebamanyi nti bakolera bano tebamanyi nti bakolera bano nti tudde zaake yavuddemu mu nnyonyi nemunyonyi yali akebera ku ssaawa tasanga
ngakawedde yavudde mu misimbo
why nti erinnya lye likola
naye akubiddwa embeggo
kyebaagala
yayina kukubwa
anti ne kyebaagala kiri kimu to discredit this is the same Museveni who went to the bush to fight for freedom, to fight against rigged elections.
gwe neewunyiza ate abadde ate nga neiba ye Betikam gundi namboze bakireke
anti yagendayo era bamukootinga nnyo ngosobola bamonita gwekootinga namboze naddeno kati Segerinya yalagawo Segerinya okedde Segerinya ate lwa Segerinya era nebobaawo babuddenga bano open indicators. If the Segerinyas were not behind ebijambi are they there? They arrest eliminated ebijambi nabamu ebibyo badde yogera busimenya accident kasana kuba supply nekubba Pakistan yalitwalanga ebweru container eriyo mu Uganda wano yalemerawo ukyalabayo accident. Olaba abakazi abafanga bazaala singa obubenje fiika salama ne budde obusajja bwawusipa ne butwala ente zaabwe bugenza kutonatingagu ng'era bano bwe bawa sente.
Nze Tamale judiciary eri ku test
not eri ku test
musangugenze mu kooti
nabagambye nti omusajja byagundi Simon Byani oyo chairman of the Electoral Commission isn't a fool. Byabakama goes there, staff your boxes he records for future. Sina kya bakola ate bakuba Bobi Wine bamukubira ku goli ya resigning naye kyali kikoleko okwo you don't even respect nga obuzikiti bugiramu engatto esaba bajjamu engatto. You cannot even respect the premises of the Electoral Commission. Electoral Commission ne clearinga Bobi Wine for consultation
nemukube emigo
nemukubira resigning.
What is he doing?
He documents you. Kuba yabakolera nga DPP n'ateekako Besigye omusango kakati n'ategeera yava mu political line tibakolera abantu tebasasula ate was brought to there by a certain faction. Yes tiyajja nemukube emigo gyabwe n'alikodinga n'akolaki kakati bano ekizibu kibagenda okubeera nakyo there are 3 courts. NRM is going to be tried by 3 courts. They have lost in the public court.
Public court yo.
Bagenda bakwata NBS ne bajiwa sente mulimu balimu aliya kulikomu ne bamuwa sente kalisa najoga abantu bonna n'afuuka ne returning gundi olunaku lumba jjajjigala kalisa TV era jjajjigala afuuka returning office n'afulibya ne results nga bala tebannaze forum bamu bakolera kakati government has lost in the public
court.
Bonna bamanyi nti akaluka akoze
akalu kabiddwa broad daylight era gwe obagamba otya nti abazungu bagenda ku airport ne bakugamba nti if we find unattended to baggage will be destroyed byemunaakwata ogugwe naye gwe osanga otya omugwe ogutaliiwo. Why is it that it is success
teri demonstrations tumuwadde baba tumuwadde naye kukunyinga omu
teri ajaganya
yeye kukunyinga omusuma
talabikana
tasobola disitulikiti ejja mulema kakati that's one two these people olwokuba baagala kusikurizinga Museveni ebyo byonna ebifaananyi babikukwata ebifaananyi byabakubira emigga abapoliisi nalaba omukazi nga bamukuba embooko naye omukazi mugumu alina akabina kanene kubanga yatambula butambuzi n'agenda teyekwata nannyo oba yali ataddeyo nti nali musajja sitabuni nnyo ku ssomero ng'ate abasomesa tebakimanyi nze nali nasala dde eddiba lyange ery'embuzi nga nditeeka mu mpale yange okuba embooko nebuukasibye naye nalaba omukazi gwe bakubye embooko buli omu nalaba mu derayiti
ensi yonna naye yakiraba omukyala yakubira embooko
kambabuuzi mwakwata abaana bano pulezidenti tabagambanga ku nti mukwate abaana banuubu pulezidenti bamulimba all intelligence organizations batula wansi ne bafumba ekintu kyabwe no people is about to ban the city Museveni n'abagamba nti bazzukulu bange baagala okwokya ekibuga mubakwate temubatokyalenge twogere nabo tubafunira emirimu naye olwokuba balina ekigendererwa gundi ezo zino eza takisi biki I had one of them say they belong to another one was saying this nambalaba mugundi meetingiza kakati ebifaananyi byavaamu ebifaananyi biri Bulaya byavaamu mubadde mwakawona ebifaananyi ebyali mwaba abaana
mukalulu wanene mivuye jali kati baleza okufuna bya elections
Dombo is itching to go to another constituency ebifaananyi ebirala stop Dombo musoke mukwate ku Dombo omuteeka
Dombo bwe buzibu
era waliyo omusajja nga buli yajja ewuwe embwa zimuluma abajja okuleeta amazzi okuleeta kinga embwa zibaluma kati omupoliisi amulimu ajjanga ebigoye bamwambazizza ebikoye najja atuukawo embwa zamuluma ye tezatuuka ku fuleesi nabuuliza bani n'abaga nti embwa zino zimala kufuna sigino kuva wananyinizo what we should do mumugyewo bwe bajja ogwokubiri okumuleesa abamubanja embwa tezabaluma ategeera nti sikirinyo
yandiba
ebitambi ebyo kubanga olumukutte
olujjako main switch kati wateko waliwo
Dombo alime kulinnya mu constituency yonna and the president should understand that these are his own people
babe nyini
babe babikola
tebiva bweru
kakati bano bote bamanyi and someone not educated kati no yala this I don't know how far he went
sempala
oba yasomera wa
sempala kigozi
everybody will be mindful of the international trend human rights is taking center stage
yes
as Museveni works hard to protect the human rights record in Uganda these people who want Museveni not to leave a legacy kubanga bakimanyi if Museveni leaves a legacy he will transfer this legacy to his son
successor
over his successor
yes
to destroy the two nene kimujje
alime kubanga atera successor
yes
agenda okubeera nga mutoga
tuba kubanga to succeed you can quote a number of examples Mubaraka yalimu omwana we gundi yalimu Islam yalimu Kawunda yaleta brigade ya Kawunda mmaje yatta girlfriend we Moyi Major Moyi yali mulalo nnyo Moyi natuka n'ogamba abantu banna that's not a reflection of our family when you want to see the Yakicho Moyi family look at Gideon ngumwana mukozi wa
kumala efujo liti
wa Basiri
Bushiri
yes but General Park nono mukazi Park wasa kubasa naye era yali apodde ku kitaawe Chinyata relies on Chinyata ziki yes kakati to benefit Nshikedi you must benefit kufuna a good legacy kakati these people they are undermining Museveni's legacy because they are insiders so that Museveni does not transfer his legacy
to the successor
babe benyini badongo bebakola ebintu
nze tamani nsonga tugikomyawo naye nga tutwogera ku nsonga yakko tuva ku nsonga ya court judiciary
musajjawo mukwano go David Konero omuzungu
Yes,
musajjawo owettaka
yes
peshe mutereddwa
that's the arrogance
peshe mutereddwa ko kyatopinga case ku mulamuzi Nabasa
I ask them you poisoned me 5 times if I had died would we be talking to my grave?
No.
You targeted my wife twice abakazi battira abakazi bamutargetinga ne mubine ebiwedde bonna ne mbakwata what if you had killed her? I would be looking after orphans.
Yeah, true.
What if you had succeeded by switching off my programs? Would you be talking to me? Bargain on YouTube. They were about $2 million. An American lawyer, Ajigalewo. Baba YouTube never gana.
But can you?
But okay, you. Never go to Tamale Mirundi talk on a couple of Kujambi. Jiggle. You go back to the home once. Okay. These people are very arrogant. If you come to kill me and I disarm you, should I surrender the gun to you?
No.
Why should a magistrate in Nabasa expect this Muzungu to help her to protect her corruption career? Didn't Nabasa know her jurisdiction? Nabasa kagende niba magistrate yabala mubalo yabaga Namayumba is not under jurisdiction. Did Nabasa expect this Muzungu to keep quiet? Even because of the Vanna will take a Munikazam, Banabana, Abati. Let Nabasa yeti komusala bagu. Yes. Nabasa yagalambo never gone Muzungu. This Uganda lawyers are timid. Because
lawyer justice ya gambe
want to win the case of the marriage kugundi nangu mulimo kituufu. Lawyers fear to touch the judges the wrong way. Why?
Okay.
In Africa, a smart lawyer, a good lawyer in Europe knows the law.
Yes.
But in Uganda, a smart lawyer takes a judge for lunch. All of their cases, they are not in the merit. Whatever mulamuzi yakitia. Omulamuzi yagamba kankotinge mulamuzi munnange kyeyakola yatuyanga case teyali ya jurisdiction teyabusala nayadduka kubanga abakozesa Nabasa n'abatya
naye bwe kibanga ekitongole kiramuzibu
anti ya destroyed Museveni's image
obunyidolo obukitiibwa kusaberenga ate omugobye anagino batu yako
kankuhoza oba owinye eddolo yennyini kisaakyo yamukuba n'amukunamya ne judgment tesalwanga
kati tuddewo
I had an arrogant man. So when I was talking to Edrin, I told him that some people are trying to behave as if they're more important than us. That's why the judge of the case was they are destroying the Museveni's legacy. But nti oyo gundi kibanuka akola mukyebaza Edwin n'awandika n'agamba nti omulamuzi w'Emasindi kye yakola si kituufu kani ate ne Jeno talk about a case are you judge nyonooni lyemuyinja kudduka fenga wetuli tetulinga nfudu tukweka mutwe bakayisa mbitooke byekura omuti nga nemumudduka nga abaasooka musinga abakyolya amaanyi wano destroy whatever Museveni has done.
Okay.
Yes, they destroy it because of selfish interest, short-term strategies.
Mzee Tamale.
Secretary, tugenda kuduka.
Wayogera kusandba generator wane juzi. Na yesa yavuddeyo n'agamba Geno Muhoozi ne Lugaba nti abakulu mu maje. Bane badenga aba supporting okuba nti akula. Bane badenga naye alabirako. Ate bali mu mulwana.
Ante kankubole.
Bamwe msokuba nti avayo kuba nti
akula. That is not, you see. The Ugandan army has not yet graduated from a guerrilla army to a professional army. This is which can cause us trouble. Cause a military wound, a joint military wound. We can only stop at joint operations. And we retain our. We make a joint army. In Kenya, for example, If you remain at one rank for 3 years, the military does not have anything to do with you.
Hey.
You retire.
You retire?
Yes.
3 years to
Yes.
Okay.
2, the soldiers in Kenya, the military in Kenya know if this army commander comes from the infantry, the second one will come from the navy, the other one will come from the air force.
Oh.
Yes, okay. They have a joint goal. When the president Beyachikola, nti buli kitongole kirina chief of staff, yes, command one waggulu. 2, you have a tenure for 2 years. Kakati the problem is nti abamaje ba Uganda tibavaawo tebabera mu retirement waliwo erinnya Kano lyegattibwa Kasirye Gwamba nga linnya lyafuuka linnya lye, waliwo Kayanja lyafuuka Meja Kayanja nga linnya lye Meja. Kakati what does it mean? Any institution must absorb, discard.
Okay.
Like a civil service.
Okay.
Because military
people come in,
changes,
people go out.
In fact, in America, the generals sit down and make a plan, a military plan strategy, and ask the civilian government to give them money. But also they have a role. An equivalent of our commander, Yogera Jomo America, Naganti with Nalabanga Trump. Atabusetabusa omutwe nuclear battles nazimujjako nezitereka, and I had to assure the Chinese nze nzirina.
Okay.
How strong the military is in this country. But most of them are highly educated.
Okay.
Kakati the problem, there is a struggle between abakuba embundu mu Luweero n'abasomi. It's a confrontation.
Mukono.
Yes. General Museveni saved these generals. Why? By creating a Chimaka.
Okay.
Because I told you when we went to Ethiopia, when we were assembling in Nigeria, Somalia, the late Nyakayima was asked, Uganda is contributing with 3,000 soldiers, the largest contingent. Who is going to be the commander? Nyakayima said, for us in Uganda, we don't mind who commands. We are doing these things for Pan-Americanism. Okay. But what from Nigeria,
watch.
It is a military principle. A country that contributes to the largest continent produces the commander. The commander of NATO must be an American general. The standard weapon of NATO must be an American weapon.
You're producing the largest weapon.
Yes. But why did Nyakayima say this? We did not have generals at that time. But general wakwata kago. Ng'abantu banyumya. Mr. Mirundi, I don't remember you seeing at the campus. When we were at the campus. Neriyo baba. Ndi attached ku University Hall. Kakati oli ayinza okwogera miche y'abawala ng'ate mulenzi. Kakati command nga mutudde bajjeno. Babuuza, we were at the Thunder House.
Okay.
We were at the college. Kuba balina college zibabeeramu.
Yes.
Nti gye wagenda. Kati I think this is what Muhoozi is facing. Muhoozi. Yes, this is why Mwanga faced the rebellion from the matters. One of the factors that caused this trouble, bali bayigirize nga bagenda mbazungu ne basoma. Kati like another person yakayiko okusoma. Batandika okuchalenga bana batamanyi Luzungu. Okay. Hapo tusomerwa amakai. Tusomerwa amapeera. Kakati bano bakati bakyababala. The army, it is history. Nti wali wanyumya olutalo nanyumya erugogo nalimya emundu we yabuga ekatonga. Twakuba emundu ekatonga wano. Kakati katonga bali abasajja buuli nabo bajjeno tebamanyi katonga. Kakati onyumya nabooki. So this is a conflict. These are labor pains for reduce a proper army. Okay. I don't expect. 2, he must be firm. Did he expect to charge payrolls? To read? The Baganda have a good proverb, but which is obscene, but I can make it to look better. Muganda tells you that if you are cleaning the lower part of a human being and you smell a stench and you run away, did you expect to powder the air? Hey, go batalowoza nti bagenda kukkiriza
tekisoboka.
He must move with his generation. By the time I told Kasirye Gwamba, Kachegwala yapumanga nnyo yafene muhozi until I went to him ne mugadi naye twakivuma nnyo muhozi baali bamulimbye nti ennyumba muhozi yajagala eye Makindi so nga Buganda Land Board yegitunda kati Kaweesa ne Katumba Wamala we are misled to believe nti ennyumba ya
Jeno muhozi yajagala
nti ennyumba sister wa Kibaki president yajagala which was wrong eyo ennyumba yali ya musajja mujaluwo yattanga abantu munnaire manso nga bamuleese wano nguluba ayinihimu yavuganga gundi bitano munya ya yero I went to Kasirye Gwanga ne muga Kasirye Gwanga one tukoledde president ebbanga lino why don't we go to the president and ask him ennyumba agikusasula which he did Kasirye bamusa ne muga gino mizinga gy'etaano bw'onoofa bajja gijjawo I went ahead Kasirye yanvumanga ng'abemengo bamukozesa okunvuma nabana abaana kakati Kasirye bwe yafa we bamuziika wali challenged bali bagala kumujjawo I don't want no lawyer but I helped Kasirye Gwanga to talk to the people who own that land nemba sendike wantu bagule kati bana ababbi bwe bategeera bali mu government bwe bategeera nti president yagala gulawo ne badira ekyapa ne bakitwalewo agundi nakulira ebyabafuyani
ali misajeno
ne bakikweka ayiranga him I'm a political activist. I'm a supporter of Museveni. The president has promised this family, this land, produce that title immediately. And he produced it. What is delaying his payment? But I told Kasirye Gwanga, no, don't blame Muhoozi. By the time Muhoozi becomes a general to command, you do have retired long time. Go if I accept to be an advisor, it means I will be under minister of presidency. Yes. Okuja kongo gwa advisor oba the minister of the presidency. Ne badda ku president himself. A man who is write a memo to the president, write his excellency the president, civil minister in charge, but let out from whoever. I cannot. Yes, I safeguard myself early. Nti kakati Baba Balanda is respectable. I used to think Baba Balanda is going to be there all the time. Nti Amelia Chamba, a former principal, private secretary, former minister. Nti what's the way to want to conquer Baba Balanda to the world?
General Muhoozi can look up.
So that's the problem. Muhoozi should not expect the church bells.
I know Subiren.
I know Subiren Kokola.
So Agume,
the good thing he has people like me.
Stand by generation.
The better people think that I talk to him. Never I must say. So get a name. I have never talked to Muhoozi face to face.
Where is the love we vow?
General
Muhoozi Rugaba. Yavune na government ya omukulu kale kayihura asonyibwe. Bwabanga yakola emisango. Naye muntu
kayihura yakola misango.
Asonyibwe atatumute.
Okutta abantu malwaliro, okutta abakazi bali I have evidence. Telephone numbers are. These people the problem they are doing. They undermine you. You are lucky that you have a president who keeps his head in the refrigerator. That's one of the reasons I supported this young man. Nti twetaaga omuntu akopye Museveni singa Museveni yattanga abantu n'abamalawo bwe nalaba teepu gye bankoledde nenkwata ku buleezi buno ne tusinkana Nakalema mu lifuti efulumya omulambo asooka okuba munne essasi yamutta neeretsa teepu mu maaso ga pulezidenti abusing him kale kakyotewali nalinko yondinko nikusinkana gwe kasajja gwenyengo nenkwata nkuttirawo gwe One nebaziika tampeko yevu nesanga kono yedingi disease kajjawo programu zankakole nakugamba okutta abantu kakati if you do not have a full-headed president me I don't blame Amin naye abaganda balina polovabu nti kabaka tatta abasaakirize you mislead him like they misled him that the Nufu was going to burn the city which was useless tilialiyo you ended up tarnishing our image thank you for simanyi waiso fake. They gave Museveni fake reports. Kakati nkubulira ne gun nekangula tibyaliyo. But look what Kayihura's influence. I said the first time I saw Kayihura, I found him in the bush and he was an ADC of Sale. Sale, after realizing that I was trembling, but while Mukizimbe Chije kama bad, Kayihura, give this man, the city boy, a cup of warm coffee and a military jacket. That was my first time to
see Kayihura.
Kayihura mu kalulu ka 2011 yakasigala mu bwomu nga badduse. Kayihura single handedly
yakakanya
bonna beekwese nga balowooza kivudde ne badduka nadda mu bagundi mu baki nadda mu bano n'akola ki Kayihura nga genda obuuza NRM. When Kayihura was still Inspector General of Police, he could help an NRM person to get out of, especially fabricated cases.
Yes.
Or when NRM tava mu komera, opposition yalivamu. You ask people.
Okay.
Yes. Kayihura was everywhere. But Malis
Kayihura mwennyini nyini yavuddeyo n'asaba era ne yasabye ekitongole ekiramuzi kiduki bamukkiriza asobole okumanga practicinga akatebe afuuke
Kayihura told me when I found him at Kasagama. He told me this is the first Christmas I have enjoyed, but he enjoyed me a very complicated decision. As you people used to go to villages, I would remain here.
Yeah, yes.
Because Museveni drinks even if he has a bullet. He won't fall. That's what Kayihura told me. I'm now having a time. Yalita ina ina kayumba nduza kalinga kaba surveyor. Nanga neyi nyumba yange yojola beri ku mortgage. Ya loan.
Okay.
Bano bayinza okugeeza okubba. Bo kale bayina okubba kagulupu kaabo. Buli wali said. Ne basibajjawo. Are snakes? Kubba ite everywhere. Fetwajja kubanikira tana kubasigira bwabo. Bugabo wangatto. Naffe twajja kulya. Politics is eating.
Okay.
Yes, terayira kukkiriza. Kayihura yalina okubwa baleete cameras. Security cameras. I told Kayihura. The moment they buy security cameras, you go. You know, that's why he has compiled a lot of hatred. Now we advise those who are handling his affairs. But we will differ with Zimbabwe and Duka.
Mzee Tamale.
I want to get doing your bullets when I get book about today. Having gone through it, I sympathize with Kayihura. But it should not stop at Kayihura alone.
Okay.
Malice, all of those people have been affected by malice. Look what a malice in the Yandala, Tabaga Kurugudu Katus. Only Zimbabwe Waluba. Kalwala no disease. The Waluba.
Okay.
He's poor. So how did you settle his assets?
Yes.
A man who picked from his home, no son of Mukazi Nasa, Taina Moana. Nimaganti yabbye sente. Nti bwe yali mu Ministry of Education 9 years ago, yali kabbye 45 million nga bazibbye basatu. Ne bakwata omukazi, ne bateeka mu kkomera. Ne kesi eteberanga cleared. Ani gwe batajonze. N'osanga musajja nga Nsubuga, bamuyitanga ono Nsubuga, eyali mu police, was the first one to market the removal of the 75-year cap. Kakati singa kyuma kya Yesu yakuba Nsubuga n'amwasa omutwe mwali gabirira abaana be. Olama ne katalina mulimu. Can government fail to find a job for Nsubuga?
Ne kasanda gye yagenda okwesa yagana.
Era bamukuba. Ako kali ko mutu. Okola lwala nodding disease kali kamutumye ne million yokaga mbwazimbe. Ne yijje yenyondo. Kakati is languishing there.
Nga tusibula.
So the attitude it should cut across.
Okay.
Our friend should convince his father to extend the reconciliation process.
Kubantu
bonna abajogeddwa abasibiddwa mu makomera because that was their words.
Okay.
Nti gundi Lukwago bamuwa obutwa. Lukwago ne bagoba mu Ministry ya Health bajja batiremu abantu. Akula ali mu jahannama wano. Nena kalima bwajja okugenda. Lwaki kayinja tamusalira naawe? Buli muntu ayagalanga okula mu saidi nga awasiza wakayanja. Lwaki kayinja tamusalira? Bye namwebasa ku ttaka. So to me, I'm angry.
Okay.
When you see the volcano burning inside me,
you erupting.
Bukuba mawulire ne bukuwonoona kwenkwata kuli bye tuttingana ne kabusinga. Yes.
Kali Mzee Tamale.
Abali nkugamba. This reconciliation should be done by the president. He has to extend the way he did it to these senior advisors.
Okay.
He will be catered before mujja kubeera mu life ennungi nakyo very good as he retiring.
Okay.
He's preparing his side. So bwada banaffe tukubye obwana buno tetwagala busemberere gendereza yaffe bujja gibbamu waya. Buno bwana bujja kuyigiza omwana okubba enva nottira abantu n'obatunda. Obwana buno twagala obugoye obupya obubeere nga tubuyitawo omwana ye yalire bulungi.
Nze tamanyina kusaba kulaba abawagizi babagobedde ebbanga lyonna. Tugenda festive season. Bayoka message akasembayo olunaku lwa leero. Omanyi festive season tugendamu abawagizibo bakakagamo ko bagamba
ate mbagamba ki buli omu yenna kakati mungende nemugamba nti omwenge omwenge tegwonona muntu omwenge gwonona mwavu yes understand the issue I was explaining to one of my wives nemugamba nti fe twali baana bato nga basiba n'amatooke mu gwomunaana ng'omwenge gubaawo sekukkulu engoye kati tompeeka ngoye no kubanga bagulira olugoye ng'omwana waagula liweetenga ne bagulira olugoye ku ki kakati abakazi ab'emmisa emberebe ey'ekiro baasomanga ki nga be bambala engoye enkadde kakati ng'ab'emisana be bagulidde engoye bage sinza ku kyeyi that's why mu bizinesi tebakyatunda bw'oba oleeta ennyama ogiseere buli omu agimanyidde kati luli batukubanga ne enema bw'olowooza enkoko nziseere zibalya buli lunaku ekipesizi nkoko yenyama yeri cheapest kakati bw'olowooza amasuuti nti ojja kutunda nnyo ku krisimas kakati nti buli lunaku ne bwe ngenda kati mu kyaki era nnaba ensinga kakati nti amasuuti gaye gonna gakwe era batukamba Sunday has put on his Sunday best tulina daily best. The market must change. Don't blame Museveni for poverty. You look what the changing trend of Christmas. The previous twalina Christmas cards. Kasonye muteka ku Christmas tree. Message ejirawo.
Kusimu.
Kakati Christmas cards zakola ki? Abantu bazikola zakola ki? Look what the trend of these things. Nti kyobola baavu babwavu. Abantu tebaguze ndowooza banagula ku nedda abantu ndowooza ku Christmas nedda abantu bajja kugula ku Easter nedda bane Museveni yatusiza obwavu no you look at home what are you going to eat at Christmas which you have not eaten chichi that's why in Europe bo sekoko zebalya ku Christmas why nti banene nnyo this way the families come together but what else What is a day for 24 hours. So you see what government Christmas idea, but when you see bubi abana badda mu somero, it depends on how organized. Me what my message is, ababye sente mu government.
Yes.
They validate them 7 inclusive. A voter is like a prostitute. A prostitute states how much money she wants.
Yes.
It is a stupidity and foolhardy to rape a prostitute. Kubanga yamaze okuwa. Voter ayagala ki? We are not new in government. No. Museveni used to win. NRM used to win. Firire nga tekubye emiggo.
Yes.
Look at that because the emiggo.
Sikina kubanga nsuko ngina kuba mbeereza balungi
unayinoga president yera karaveko talifuga kwanga yejonga bagandi omusajja tumugambye ayite omusajja aganye yatugambye tayagala nakutulaba you started the battle finish it mwali mulowooza nti muli bagezi nnyo I was watching from Monday Tuesday and Wednesday tomorrow they will be giving evidence on Zoom. And I was watching a meeting in the State House where they asked, what if this man has video clips? I have them, but I'm mature. Sisobola. Nemwatira omwana nga mwali batikuuku, I've exposed yali batikuuku. There was at that time a Chinese sale. Babuloni nga kigudde, Babuloni nga kigudde. Mama ndi mu programu kakubire. Babuloni nga kigudde kakati nkubuulira ate gundi alubati kuku kugwanga Babuloni nkugamba otekedde nakawandikadde
19th July 2012
losing by elections the NRM was number of and winners. Secondly, for a ruling party to lose a by-election doesn't necessarily mean losing support. Where the ruling party registered the majority of seats in parliament, the voters may decide to check it by electing opposition candidates in the subsequent elections. Now, Museveni kyebamukola, read the paper, it's do or die in Kayunga. Either we lose or they get. What is in Kayunga? These are money makers. The donors, the money makers. Because a ruling party cannot fail to win a by-election for two factors. One,
LC5 seat, next to the Prime Minister, next to the President.
Anti bakukulyesa gidda kalimanjovu. What you from Museveni can accept Nabu Kenya, who organized a birthday party for Museveni, a fake one. A rotten cake, rotten mangoes, rotten pineapples, and Museveni considered the defeat when Nabu Kenya won the Rural by-election. He is also the incumbent AMWATULIDE for that area.
Yes.
Can you compare, apart from having a gold mine in those areas, they have not declared, that's in Nankabiru, whether there is no largest is in a forest, to wait agana kusima.
But a Kayunga, Obata man got idea Kayunga.
Yes, and this one, Arie Kayunga, Kajakola. Muganda wakuwasiza omukazi oba omugagga yenna nakuwasiza omukazi amuzaalamu n'abaana. This man who is popular has been installed.
Muwonge
Tagenda kufuna maanyi. Bajja kubanga amasimu. Bajja kubanga amasimu. Kakati bavudde ku interest za party. Two, nalabye omusajja w'Ekayunga oyo RDC. If airlines have been kegged, how can a rat shout? I am the chairman of the Electoral Commission. When did he assume those powers? The those are dangerous fellows. The Dombos, for example, Singaporean Prime Minister Kwan Lee states in his book that Singapore, the opposition in Singapore, tweaked his party when they did not defeat the candidates in many constituencies, and the ruling party MPs went through unopposed before the actual general election. This sent alarming messages to the voters that the ruling party would lack checks in the parliament. And therefore, on election day, the voters returned the few opposition candidates who stood. The opposition trick worked perfectly well. The voters voted the opposition to retain checks in the parliament and to avoid the single party arrangement in case the ruling party took over parliament.
Okay.
Ate basoma balina obudde baavu. Ate oyo talina no control yaji tasoma ngala ku political science. Tamanyina international nababuuza nti mutubuulire. Police in a library side. Similar cases. That's why I admired it to Mukunda. Whenever I went to Mukunda, I found him reading his Mossad books.
Okay.
Cases are similar. Twaina wano musajja ku Uganda ku WBS nga kuliko musajja Dr. Derek. Tekanga kusomesa ki. Bana abawa nabatasobola ku accessing that information.
Okay.
Kakati Singapore bateekawo okulonda. Ku nomination day abo opposition constituency ne bazireka. Ezimu ne bayita mwana opposite. The population was alerted. If we don't vote the opposition people, but bagenda kudominate.
Dominating
the election date wali wa government yayitamu. Yes. Ba planning. Tituyinza kudya. In fact, even in law, a party that has already the two-thirds majority, there is no judge, sensible judge, as well as kujeba. This one has already secured.
NRM yajanyiza ne government nga kitwali kayunga kisigenda okubeera bula wagenda mu election kisigenda okubeera mu komansimbi kiyo okubeera emityana
areetunga omukazi yeewaana namufinyiseza n'olubuto namusiize n'ensiku but you are accumulating evidence against you. These people are exposing you. NRM that went, these bills are not Museveni supporters. Whoever is doing this is not Museveni supporter.
NP gama lekalukabiddwa.
Yes, obviously.
Ochikiriza.
Obviously. Ati kasokola ebyo ebyobusiru. Ate express ye team ekuba amayinja. Omupiira referee wala mwalali ate ekuba amayinja. Why do you rape a woman? Can you rape a prostitute when you have money? Have you ever seen Bad Black claiming lodging a rape case in any court of law?
No.
Yes. You cannot rape a prostitute because voters are like prostitutes. You deliver the services. They sent a music by Katakambavus. Magazine Yagama and Mukupadisi model. Where is the money that is reflected in the kubiwali budimulaga abantu n'abakoba nakola brand eyokubiri. You are choosing the Uganda Land Board, yes, of evicting people. Olaga ebyapa byavudde ku kyapa kyani.
Yapa 10 biramba.
Anti byavudde ku ttaka lyani. Because if the government wants to buy land, the landlord comes, they send the government values the land,
yes,
compensate that man.
Yes.
Kati government n'abakoba would start by stating us twaguze ettaka mu Kayunga muno ne Land Road n'avaayo kati abasenze tubawe ebyabo Land Road n'atuwa a copy of the check.
Yes. Bulanda yakoledde
in garbage out.
Ne Mzee Tamale bwobanga gwe President Museveni kasera kano otudde mu ntebe nga wasigise tiimu yokola ndifunga ne bwogwa ntiyageze please Mzee Tamale Museveni yageze Kayunga n'ofusinga ne imagine ya bululu 5 just
Museveni ayina abamukoleramu baddombo bakolera dombo ayina amukozesa era buli dombo gy'anaagenda bajja kuba bayobola and his people rejected him long time ago. You are dealing with the reject dombo ayina yamuteeka waawo. He is the cause of violence. Nkugamba in this case even popular ruling party candidates who did not go through and opposed lost to the opposition. Secondly, ruling party supporters voted the opposition because they believed that their party's survival had already been preserved. Why do you kill people when you have already got anti-by-election yombaka parliament? NRM is do or die. Majority. How? Ndio msajja ina bakazi abana yakote house. Kakati aliyagenda kusonyu.
Tewali
agenda kusonyu. Kakati nkugamba nti the results the supporters of the ruling party decided not to turn up for the earlier results had restored their confidence that their party had already won and the opposition that feared the unchecked dominance of the ruling party turned up in large numbers. Nkugamba another situation where bano bali tudde wansi ne babala n'okulya bakubeeta Uganda negundi a storm erekamu ewayimiridde. How could you be swept throughout Buganda? Ate n'omwana eyayita mwana oposta tafichaling
NRM is claiming banasigala okweddiza Buganda banandikidde Kayunga
mulepinga bakazi rape. This was open rape and Museveni cannot support this. Heads will roll in the
Are you sure? Si musanyufu n'okuba nti bawangude
yobe yagenda yewalabayo violence. Yes. The problem is dombo ayimukoleramu.
Okay.
Nkugamba another situation is where ruling party is given a blank check because of the prevailing political environment. Politics at times is like a love relationship. Love suffers from diminishing returns. In his book, Julius Caesar Shakespeare tells us that when love starts to sicken and decay, it uses an enforced ceremony, which is phosphorylated. Take for example, 1986 to 90, the NRM was given a blank check by the population.
Blank check? Just automatic?
Yes. Yes. But I know as a political scientist that when you overstay, system overstays in power, it develops political inertia. Okay. The NRM was given a blank check by the people of Uganda who had borne the atrocities of Obote and it was governments. At that time, the NRA was dominated by the Baganda and the Banyankole. The NRA suffered from ministers who came from other tribes. It was dominated by those from the bush. The NRA was also dominated by Banyankole. This explains why like Dr. Alex Ofumbi, who was running a clinic at Lyantonde and the Okecho, Dr. Bata took center stage because they were not from Buganda or Ankole. These and people like Teddy Wamuse gave the NRM the national outlook on addition to this ideology. Although the NRM said the members of Hamba Education, this was not considered a serious matter at this time. Soldiers became Wabana Bafe. Nobody at this stage had the time to waste by looking at the shapes of their noses. These were non-issues at the time. Uganda had more important issues occupying their minds. abantu bakuwa blanka check.
Yes.
NRM was given a
Blank check.
By the population.
Yeah.
Ngo bibula mu ntimu banyanko le soyibe kiko bindi yaruda. Uwa.
Ngati wali. Kasojera ku ticket ye NRM. Tumazo ku bantu oyingidde.
Ne kugamba point eyokubiri ekulaga nti NRM was given a blank check. A blank check at that time. This explains why non-Rwanda officers occupied very important government posts which did not attract attention of the public. They had other important things that occupied their minds then. These simple matters which have taken center stage today. However, by 1996, things had changed. Obubbi. Kubanga golowooza bano balowooza ti bwe babba ssente za service delivery bajja bakuba emigo. Toyinza kugamba nti Museveni abawadde ssente mugule ennyama n'ebyokulya nti abantu bawe walagi tufisse. The Greekers will fight you. Violence. The social violence is that the money that Museveni give these people for service delivery in these areas has been taken. As a result,